Good morning, folks. Welcome to our weekly Magic the Gathering discussion video on the channel. We are going to be talking about the discontinuation of draft and set boosters as announced by Mark Rosewater on October 16th on the Wizards website in an article titled, "What are play boosters?" So I will link that article in the description of this video if you want to read the full article. It's a pretty good one. It kind of breaks down the problems that Wizards was having with set boosters, which, in my opinion, I think they were all self-created because nobody really needed set boosters, but they thought there was a demand of consumer demand for this product, and there clearly was not. So 2 years later, now we had to fix the problem. It also outlines some issues that they were having with the set boosters, which again was totally self-created. Why create the set boosters in the first place when draft boosters were selling just fine for 30 years until they invented collector boosters around the Ikoria set for $200, and then they realized we can just print fewer cards, charge 4 to 10 times as much per card, and just make a ton more profit with more expensive and flashy cards. So that seems to be the direction that Wizards is heading into. And let's see, next week, if you stay tuned, I've been making monthly standard draft booster box pricing videos. So I've been kind of keeping track for historical accuracy of the market prices of these draft booster boxes. And I'm very curious to see what next week market prices are going to look like a week or two after the Mark Rosewater announcement that Wizards is getting rid of set and draft boosters and coming out with play boosters next year. So stay tuned for that video. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see my discussion on the current draft booster box prices in the market. So now let's get into the article that everyone is talking about this week, this month. I think this video is going to go live next week, so we're going to be about a week or two behind the discussion. But if you have comments, please put them below in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on set versus draft boosters. I would greatly appreciate that. All right, problem number one, the set booster have eclipsed the draft boosters in probably sales, according to Wizards, and I think that is possibly due to the fact that Wizards stopped putting premium cards in the draft boosters. You could get like a rare foil, but like one per box, so it was really hard to get really good cards in these draft boosters. We opened up a ton of these on the channel. All of these empty packs came from shorts that we've been making, so if you want to see all of these packs being opened, you can check out my playlist of shorts. Those are a lot of fun to make. They're actually easier to make than these discussion videos, so I've been doing more of those and saving my energy for like one discussion video per week. We opened up a few set boosters as well. The set boosters contained fewer cards, but they contained flashier cards, and they also contained a reprinted card from the list slot, which is basically just a reprint, sort of a nod to the reserve list, because Wizards is not going to reprint some of those cards, except they did with the 30th anniversary, so it's kind of a mess right now. The other problem, number two, that Wizards says is that it's causing inventory problems. And obviously the packs look pretty similar, but this draft pack of Kamigawa was probably $4 at the LGS, and this set booster was probably $6 at the LGS. And so if somebody grabbed draft boosters thinking they were grabbing set boosters, or if they grabbed set boosters thinking they were grabbing draft boosters, the inventory numbers are going to be way off on the store. Plus people's aunts, they don't know which sets packs to buy for their nieces or nephews. They don't know the difference between a set and a draft booster. They just know that the kid likes Magic the Gathering, and they're going to pick the one that's probably in their price range or probably looks fancier. Maybe they can afford $6 packs at Target, and that's what they go for. Problem number three, it began the abandonment of draft boosters. I feel like part of that is due to that the LGSs were losing money because patrons necessarily didn't want to pay $120 for a box of set boosters, and then the stores stopped ordering draft boosters because they weren't profitable. So if a store paid $80 for a draft booster box and could only sell it for $100, their profit margin is 20%, but then they have fees, overhead, so they're really only probably breaking even on draft draft boosters. And if they lose the player base, they're not going to have as many tournaments, so they're obviously not going to sell as many draft packs for like Friday Night Magic, for example. And they really can't use set boosters for draft because the cards in the packs don't lend themselves to a draft format for limited. So that's problem number 3. Problem number 4 is that it caused confusion at the marketplace. These are all kind of similarly, you know, they're all kind of the same problem, but they're all created by the invention of set boosters, which nobody really demanded 2 years ago, and nobody knew what to do with for the last 2 years. I think there's a few collectors out there that really like these. They maybe collect the art cards that they stick in them. They're really nice. I haven't seen too many art card collections though. Like if you go to conventions, you don't see the vendors selling the art cards, you just see them selling the playable cards. So the set boosters were designed for collectors, but I also think you could do the same thing just with a draft booster if you hadn't separated the 2 SKUs. And like I said, people just didn't know which one to buy. There's just too many options. So that led to problem number 5, which said it makes some of the Magic boosters less desirable. Well, duh, like they stopped putting the premium cards in the draft boosters. You could get a rare foil, but maybe 1 per box, like 1 per 36 packs. And in the set boosters, I mean, everything was kind of average. It was all foil. It was all rare. It was like 3 to 4 rares per pack. So people picked the set boosters because for $6 is a better value than a $4. If you get 4 rares for $6 and 1 rare for $4, clearly the better value is in the set boosters, but that led to some people stopped buying the draft boosters, plus there was less Friday Night Magic, less tournaments happening, plus the pandemic, people couldn't get together in person and play. So obviously the draft booster sales went down during that 2-year period that they were making set boosters. And the last problem that Mark pointed out was that every booster buyer wasn't getting all the cool stuff. And that's because they were putting them all in set or collector booster packs. So people now had to pay $6 or $25 to $50 if they wanted to get a collector booster of that set to get all the foil cards. And there was no incentive to buy the draft boosters unless you were purely playing Magic the Gathering sealed with your friends or limited, 3 packs of draft boosters to make a deck. I've seen some casual groups that do that regularly. Even some like businesses do it like once a month for employee recognition. They might just get staff together in the break room and break a box of Magic the Gathering. But there's been less of that post-pandemic. Everyone's back to work now. Inflation has gone up, prices are increasing, so they have less money to spend on just draft Magic. So then Mark said that there were 4 issues with set boosters specifically. The first issue is that there weren't enough cards. You only would get 12 cards per set booster pack. And so obviously like you weren't getting enough cards to make a draftable deck with. And I think the colors were kind of collated in a way where like they were themed to different colors. So you get more blue cards in one pack and get more red cards in another pack. That's issue number 2. They mentioned that the colors were not balanced. So in some of the set boosters, it was just, you could get mostly red cards. In some packs, you get all blue cards. And so if you're drafting this format using these packs, it makes the draft experience imbalanced. Issue number 3 was the ratio of rarities would have to shift. And so inside of the set boosters, you could get more than 1 rare. Inside of the draft boosters, you could, but it was really rare. So they decided that if they made a new set product, they'd have to, they'd have a problem on their hands and have to sort of change how they put packs together. So that's what they did with the play boosters. Those will be coming out soon. And then the last issue is that they'd have to change the way they made sets. Well, I mean, obviously, car manufacturers have multiple models of cars. You might have the Toyota Corolla, which is, your basic bottom-of-the-line draft booster pack. And then you can also have, like, the hybrid electric Toyota car that's a little bit more expensive and better for the environment. So if the consumer base wants one particular type of car or vehicle or Magic the Gathering card, you're gonna have to adjust to what people are wanting. So I don't know if they were necessarily listening to the player base the last 2 years, because they just kept pumping out set boosters. And when people were trying to get draft boosters, they had an excuse and would say, oh, we couldn't deliver the draft boosters this month, so just buy the set boosters. I mean, they're the same thing, right? And clearly they were not the same thing. So inside of the play boosters, there's going to be 15 cards, kind of like a draft booster pack, except one of the cards will not be playable. So it's actually sort of an average, basically, of a set booster and draft booster. They're kind of smashing them together and getting the play booster. There's going to be 6 common cards, 1 common card from the list, which I think is just a reprint. So you get 7 commons, you get 3 uncommons. That's going to be 10 cards. You'll get 1 rare or mythic card, 1 land card that could also be a rare. Then they also have 2 wild card slots. They have a non-foil wild card and a foil wild card slot. That is going to be the 14 cards that you get in the play booster. The 15th card is an ad or token card. It's going to be non-playable. So very similar to the draft and the set boosters that throw in like a token or a sketch card or something in the last slot. You'll still get that in the play boosters, so you can still throw that out and toss that away. So that's basically the quick summary of what play boosters are gonna be. That's gonna just start the market discussion of what it's gonna do to the draft booster box prices. I have a theory that they'll go up, obviously, because they will stop making draft and set boosters, and depending on the popularity of play boosters, people may reject the product and then only want to collect draft or set boosters. And so we'll see. We'll check the prices. We'll keep those up in monthly update videos and let you know how they do. We've also got some more booster packs that we picked up for the channel. I will kind of show you what we picked up today. This will be a preview of some of our shorts for the channel. So if you want to see us open up Born of the Gods, I picked up some of those draft boosters, and I picked up all of these like before Mark's announcement. So these just arrived. We have some Gate Crash, and again, Born of the Gods and Gate Crash, there were no set boosters. It was just, and there were no collector boosters. So it was just, that was the set you got. I picked up some Unfinity. We have a ton of these sealed, so I didn't want to open up the sealed boxes, but I did buy some more Unfinity draft. That was a fun set to draft, honestly. So we'll do that on the channel. I also picked up some New Capenna draft. These are the newer sets that have differentiated between draft and set. There's Midnight Hunt draft, perfect for Halloween. Then we've got Adventures in Dungeons and Dragons, The Adventures in Forgotten Realms. These are also draft. So I picked up, looks like 4 draft sets, 2 kind of old school, not old school, but older, pre-Ikoria, pre-draft set packs. We'll open up those on the channel. I've also got some, let's see, more sleeves for our signed cards, some single cards that we're using for side projects. I'll make videos on those and show you what those are as well. But that's the video for the week. Let me know what you think of play boosters. Are they gonna do better than draft booster packs? Should Magic just go back to a single box of cards? Let me know. And if you wanna see these packs being opened, just subscribe to the channel. You'll get an update in your feed every morning, and we'll open up a pack of Magic cards. We'll jam along to some music. It'll be a good time. I thank everybody for watching. And then, like I said, stay tuned for next week when we do the draft booster box price update. We'll compare the prices to last month, to basically early October's prices before Mark Rosewater announced the play boosters. And we'll see if that announcement made any effect in the market. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.